I don't want to hear another black woman call a black man sassy when you are the reason that these men are this way. I don't want to hear not one more black woman call a black man sassy when nobody in this world encourages or endorses sassy black men like black women. When you see these sassy young boys at games cheerleading and doing splits and twerking, who screams louder for this nonsense than a black woman? Who can't you talk to in a black woman's house, no matter how disrespectful they are? You cannot talk back to a black woman's children. How dare you correct a black woman's son? You've given these young black men a safe space to be weak. You've given these young black men a safe space to be feminine. And then when they grow up into weak, feminine men, now it's the black man's fault because these black men are sassy. No. Take accountability. A black man has never told another black man it's okay to be broke. A black man has never told a black man that it's okay to be feminine. A black man has never told a black man that it's okay to be soft. You know who babies black men? Black women. Am I lying?
So there's a whole bunch of black men getting on the app talking about, oh, the reason we don't date black women no more is the way that they're raised. You know, an example would be a guy named I Am Truths 357 or something like that. He goes into, oh, it's the way y'all raised, stuff like this. Let me tell you something. Black men weren't raised to be providers nor leaders. And as a collective group, they're not providers nor leaders. Now, I just find that quite hilarious that we want to talk about the way black women are raised, but you don't want to talk about the way black men are raised when y'all come from these exact same broken households that your father ruined majority of the time. And y'all be trying to preach to women about what they should do and what they need to be. This is coming from a group of men who can't even provide the climate for a woman to be submissive and rest in her femininity. You don't provide that. You don't know how to love. You don't have any compassion. You don't have any empathy, sympathy, nor grace for your group of women. But yet, they're supposed to submit to a group of men who can't lead nor provide and complain about providing. Complain about everything. Always blaming them for all the problems. Hey, it's just, and all the reason that the community messed up is because the black woman wrote it. This is what black women are supposed to get with, bro. Now, let me tell you something. Men who get women, men who are married, men who know how to love and treat a woman right, do not get on the internet and complain about what black women, certain black women, that we have no business messing with are doing. If she's not a good woman, you don't get with that woman. What am I going to talk about the bad woman for? A man focus on what he wants and he go gets what he wants. We don't sit here making excuses and talk about the bad apples. But that's all they want to talk about. Oh, the bad black was the problem with the majority of the black. That's not the case. The majority of black women are not bad. But the majority of y'all men, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, you don't qualify for a good woman because if you did, you would have one. You would be talking about how much you love your wife, but you don't have one. And every day you go to bed, you cuddle with a pillow. That's all you have is that pillow. And then you'll hop on TikTok or YouTube to make a video about black. That's all you have is your bitter audience and your pillow. And when you get to them retirement homes, you ain't gonna have no support system around you as well. And that's what you get. Trying to tell black women that they need to learn how to be submissive and respect the man. Ain't nothing to respect about a lot of y'all. Your content that you dropping don't even deserve respect. You think you deserve a good black one? You don't qualify for one, homeboy. You never even uplift her. Your whole page is dedicated to tearing down the womb that gives birth to you. Come on now. You disqualified yourself the moment you opened your mouth. Majority of y'all men that's speaking. And then, dog, when y'all be talking about y'all got these passports and we going over here and because we being treated like kings, we see the way that those women talk bad about VLK men as well. And we know that you are a walking lick. They know that you are a walking lick. You ain't getting it ain't all gravy on that side. It's not. The grass ain't green on that side. Let's stop the cap. And majority of y'all that do that, you really wanted a black woman. But black women didn't want you. Because you have issues. Some of y'all be making all the problems about what women did and women did. But you never look in the mirror and realize that you just don't qualify. You just don't qualify for a good black woman. And that's what you get, bro. Because a man, see, I got mine. A man who loves his wife, a man who has dealt with nothing but black women, who loves black women, who appreciate black women, will have no problem finding a good black woman because he knows what to look for. And maybe instead of telling women to choose better, maybe it's actually you men who should choose better. I can't even say that though, because a lot of y'all be having a good black woman and then you ruin her.
I wanted to respond to this dialogue briefly because it's very common today when we talk about black love to see all of the ills and all of the problems put on one side, right? We may say, oh, right, one side may say, oh, it's all black men, right? Black men are dusties. They're broken. They don't know how to be husbands. They don't know how to be leaders. They're not raised to be that. They're not raised to be good men. And they're out here creating all these broken homes. They're out here being horrible absentee fathers, and they're screwing up the community. So that's a very, very, very common belief floating around. Now, with the advent of the manosphere and with the advent of social media, you know, you hear black men speaking out and saying, no. Look at the women who are raising these kids. Look at the women who are procreating with the Pookies and Ray Rays. Over 50% of black men in America of marrying age are single and childless. Like, what are y'all talking about? And so you're starting to see that side that says, no, really, it's the black woman's fault. It's these women who are creating these broken homes. It's these women who left their men. It's these women who turned to the government, who embraced feminism. And this is exactly why the community is broken down. And honestly, I think if we were to look at the state of just the black community in the West, the black community in America, we have to point to multiple things. At the end of the day, we have to remember that there has been policies that have taken place over decades in the United States of America that have systematically broken up the home. That has played a part. And then when you add to that toxic, broken down, traumatized people who continue to procreate and recreate and reproduce their trauma in their generation, you have exactly what you have today. So I am a firm believer that if there was ever to be any change, that there would have to be a level of acceptance and a level of acknowledgement and accountability truly on both sides. Now, as a woman, I like to spend my time focusing on the issues and the ills that impact women because I believe for a very long time, we haven't really felt comfortable acknowledging the ways black women themselves have also contributed to the ills and the challenges in the black community. We haven't. We're very comfortable pointing out black men's fault in the way that they err and the way in which they fall short, but it's not as comfortable and it's not as acceptable to do it for black women. I think now maybe within the last few years we're seeing it, but for the most part, that's been taboo. So that's why I spend a lot of my time focusing on the issues that impact black women. But I am not, blind to the fact that black men also have their own challenges that they need to address among each other. But I think that's ultimately something that men have to work out among themselves. Like, I'm a firm believer that only men can raise men. Only men can really hold men accountable in the way that is needed. And the best way to do that is to give them space and the space and the position to lead and to follow and to do what they need to do, because we're so quick to want to talk about the ways in which men don't lead, but you also have to remember the ways that they weren't even really given the capacity to do so. That was taken from them. So, it is a mixed bag. Anybody who wants to talk about the improvement of a community cannot do so unless there is decency and order. And in order for that to happen, there has to be a level of acknowledgement on the challenges and the issues that happen on both sides, because ultimately both black men and women grow part of the same households, parent. And they, to a certain extent, for better or for worse, are a reflection of each other. So I'm not about to sit here and hate on black men, because I'm not going to sit here and hate on myself. And I think the same should be true the other way around. But anyways, that's what I got. What y'all think? So let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.